To me, this is not just another nation. It is not just one of the family of nations. This is a nation with a great mission to perform for the benefit of liberty-loving people everywhere.
That we shall be as a city upon a hill.
These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of his country.
You've come to fight as three men. Three men you are. What will you do without freedom?
Proclaim liberty throughout all the land.
In one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. You gotta fight for your right. Can you dig it?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Real News in the Morning. I'm blinding myself with this studio light right here, man. We got all kind of cool things going in the background. I got the green screen happening. See my green little wavy fingers right there? It means I won't be, glitching out or anything anymore. It's looking good. We're putting in work, putting in effort on the back end here. My name is Mr. Henry. David Shine Thompson sitting beside me. The show's going to be quick moving today, y'all. It's going to be fast. We got a lot of topics. Before we get to Greatest Audience in the Nation Appreciation segment, Zig, buddy, sitting at the bottom of your screen there on your Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, wherever you so happen to be watching us, go ahead and introduce yourselves to our audience.
My name is Zygmunt Reichenbach, a GED with Americans for Prosperity, Pennsylvania. Last night, we just had a great event called Community Conversations. It's about exposing our great audience here, people who support real news, who are our real friends, and just having an open dialogue about thoughts and thinking about what's going on in the world.
We had Zig on this morning to do a little bit of a, cross-platform promotion type thing, bring someone in from another state, give us a bit of perspective, maybe help us think, am I going crazy here in Tennessee? Are you dealing with some of the same stuff up there? But Zig, we do this thing here called the Greatest Audience in the Nation Appreciation segment. Just a time for a shout out to our members of like, what's good in your life? How's it going? What do you need encouragement with? What do you need help with? How can we help build community? What do you need prayers for? Any of that stuff. I got one real quick, then I'm kicking my boy Shine. He's got a birthday shout out here too. One of my favorite speakers, one of the greatest orators, I believe, certainly in this generation, in all time that I've had the pleasure of listening to, and a guy that's helped me in my own personal walk with faith, regardless of how you feel about that, doesn't matter. Ravi Zacharias passed away this morning, though. 74, I think, was his age. Obviously, cancer came on pretty quick there, man. But, with the Lord, if you believe in that sort of thing. But, thoughts and prayers, whatever vibe you're picking up from that, just keep that in your mind type thing. Great man passed away. Shine, though, on a much more encouraging note, birthday shout out, buddy, right? So one of our best folks here. Hey, by the way, Shane, sorry, man. I'm really sorry about interrupting there, man. They're saying they can't hear on your
I know.
end.
Sorry about that. I was just before when you couldn't hear me, I was just paying my respects to Ravi Zacharias. Great guy, great orator, great explainer of who he was. Very generous in his presentation. Never beat anybody over the head. Really kind orator. But I'll move on from that and say I want to say happy birthday to Christopher Fortner, a great libertarian activist. He does stuff with AFP. He watches Real News. He's always sharing our stuff. So I wanted to say happy birthday to him. And if you're listening now or later, happy birthday, and I hope you're doing well, Christopher.
Hey, Christopher, happy birthday, buddy. I gave the little applause thing there in the Zoom chat, as you can see.
Man, Grant, and I've tried to add like sound effects, like clapping and stuff like that. It will come in the future. I just haven't been able to find the right program that didn't bog us all down. But we will have sound effects in the future.
We also we have a Google Voice number set up too that we're going to be implementing very, very soon for a call-in line for you guys to call in and give us your opinion. But greatest audience in the nation appreciation segment. Let us know in the comment section for now how you doing, what you need help with, encouragement, prayer concerns, any of that type of stuff. Getting to the first local story at hand here is one of the reasons why we had Zig on this morning. I kind of want to know if you're dealing with any sort of similar modeling data from any of your prestigious institutions up there in the Pennsylvania area. We're getting one here. Obviously, the headline you see from Tennessee Star in the show notes today. Again, quick plug, show notes up there at the top of the description. You'll see the Evernote link. That's usually the best way to follow the show notes. Here's the headline, though. Vanderbilt coronavirus modelers revise hospitalization estimates down from thousands, now down to about 300, they're saying. The story comes to this. They're now saying the Vanderbilt Medical Center about a month ago began releasing weekly models of possible coronavirus transmission and hospitalizations in regions of the state. Now, as of May 11th, 275 in this state were currently hospitalized with COVID-19. The total number of hospitalizations was 1,363. Now, last month, Vanderbilt, the same modeling data, just last month said that hospitalizations in Tennessee by early May, i.e., where we were a week ago, could hit somewhere between 5,000 and 15,000. So comparative numbers there, what we're talking about, they're basically saying as of this date right now, we're sitting at 273 hospitalizations with a total number of 1,300 hospitalizations. The Vanderbilt modeling data was saying a month ago that should have been more like 15,000. I'll just throw it out there for response. Let me start with Zig.
Yeah,
how you feeling? You get anything similar?
Well, so right here in Pennsylvania, the biggest issue isn't necessarily modeling data per se, but it's just a disrespect for equality in our state, in the sense that we have rural areas that have next to no deaths, and yet we're being treated or had been treated as if we're Philadelphia. Now, the thing about the place where I'm from in Potter County is people don't fly in there. Nobody is going to fly in there. Nobody from Europe, okay? Nobody from Asia is flying into Potter County. And yet we had to go into this big lockdown for what? I mean, it's disrespectful to rural people. And in a lot of rural areas, we end up paying more to ship all our best students, all our best intellects to the city. And then we get punished when the cities mess up to some degree.
Shine, let me ask you too, man. So we're talking about this sort of comparison of numbers here, and it seems like there's a similar situation going on in a multitude of states. I hear what Zig is saying is obviously if you localize these solutions, it's probably going to end up working better for everybody. Let me ask you too, man, unless you want to comment on the numbers in particular, but I'll ask you, Shine.
I do want to say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, what does this do to people's perception then of the next time modeling data comes out? That's my fear, honestly, is like, okay, you get a couple shots at this boy cried wolf thing. You get a couple shots at a stretch of 15,000 individuals being at this particular point in this month. If it doesn't come to fruition, I don't know. What standard do you set, and what does that precedent look like now going forward of the next time Vanderbilt comes out with the next data? Why should I believe him now, I suppose? Go ahead, man.
Well, first off, I'll make a satiric joke. Those right-wingers at Vanderbilt, that are just talking about this propaganda of no deaths. I couldn't believe when I saw those right-wingers from Vanderbilt University downsizing the deaths in order to make the president look better or something like that. Oh, wait, that's not really happening. There's scientists, there's doctors. They're revising it because they actually have to make decisions that involve their budget, involve their money and manpower. I mean, I don't know if you know that they closed the field hospital a couple weeks ago, and almost nobody had gone to it. I think actually nobody had gone to the Vanderbilt field hospital that they built. And I agree with you with it's like they can do the modeling data and people might believe or disbelieve. I think that same proportion will still be around, but people are not going to act on this model data. I don't think in Tennessee, no one's going to go, if they had revised it up, no one would care. Does that make sense to you, Grant? Or does that make sense? Am I making sense? But since they revised it down, I think people will, use that as fodder to say what I said yesterday is that we shouldn't do anything like this ever again. It doesn't matter if the smartest people in the world say everyone needs to stay at their home and you can't do business anymore. It doesn't matter. We've proven now that it doesn't matter if the smartest people in the world say everyone's going to die. You don't listen to them. We don't need 1,500 people worldwide that are part of like WHO and the U.S. Health establishment and the European health establishment. We don't need a small group of people telling 7 billion people to not do business and stay home. It doesn't matter. It's 2020. Theoretically, these might be like the smartest scientists, the most informed scientists that have ever lived. And still, they got something so dramatically wrong that we could have to deal with it for generations maybe, or at least like years. So that's as far, I think because nobody died, they'll never be able to do this again. And the people may listen to models. People may personally change their habits because of a disease. But I don't think anyone will put up with a government centralized solution in our state ever again without being forced to from the outside.
What were you going to say, Zig? Go ahead.
Yeah, here in Pennsylvania, this notion that hospitals were going to be overwhelmed, that never happened. That never once happened. And furthermore, the original justification to flatten the curve, what flatten the curve means is you're not intending to stop the disease. You're only intending to prolong it. And so insofar as the original justification doesn't make any sense because there were no hospitalizations, and B, the curve is flattened, we should take the appropriate action to, again, reopen business so people can have their dignity back, so people can have something to look forward to instead of being trapped inside and endangering their lives. You're putting people in danger, psychological danger and drug abuse danger when they're closed off from the larger life world of business. And that's a serious concern.
There's even anecdotal data right now that most people in New York who are getting sick, and I say most, 60% of the people who have gotten sick recently in New York were people who were sheltering in place. People were at home. So there's at least anecdotal evidence that people are less safe staying at their house than being outside and like boosting their immune system. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that people are staying isolated makes them more vulnerable to disease because they're not out there interacting with the world and building antibodies to things.
Well, it is also a very interesting thought experiment for people to be going through right now. That thought experiment being of like challenging traditional notions of what leadership even is. In a representative republic, challenging traditional notions of